So now we're almost done with deployment. And you guys had a matter of, I don't know what to call it in terms of number of missions left. Might be 0, might be 1, might be 2. But it was almost time for everyone to start packing up and heading home. And that didn't mean that the 506 was going home because they weren't. Didn't mean the 11AD was going home because they weren't. Didn't mean that they were going to stop doing operations because they weren't. It didn't mean that the enemy wasn't going to stop trying to kill Americans. And so that meant that we couldn't stop doing what we had to do until the next SEAL team came in to relieve us and take our place. So there was no stopping. There was no stopping until it was time to go home, close as we were. And I remember consciously I said to myself, I'm not going to say, hey, this day we'll do our last mission. Because I think that's like, call me superstitious, but that to me is like a bad luck thing. Like, hey, okay, guys, this is the last mission. And even in my own mind, I said, okay, well, we'll see how this one goes and if another mission comes up. And so I never said to myself, okay, this day or this something we're going to stop. And I just knew that at some point we'd have enough of the new group over, the new team would be here, and I could say, okay, you know what? We're good now and we're going home. And I didn't want to make that I didn't want to make that like a set date, or a set time or a set number of missions. I just said, when we're ready to be relieved, we'll stop. And we'll just stop and we'll pack up, because I don't want guys out in the field thinking, hey, if I can just make it through this, because that's bad. Or I don't want guys in the field thinking, this is the last one I got to do, and I don't want that on anyone's mind, not even mine. And so I even tricked myself and just said, okay, we're going to keep going until we've got enough strength from the other team, and then we'll just stop that when that day comes. So you guys kept operating, and everyone did. Kept operating. Kept going. And it was still, despite the significant impact there had been on the enemy was still bringing it. And they were starting to get a little bit more desperate. And because we had really shut down a lot of their movement, so they were starting to really try and strike back significantly when they could. So basically, almost every time that we went out into Ramadi, it was on at this point.